good. All right, welcome everybody to our open house. I'm going to introduce now our pre-K teacher, and Mrs. J is going to come and say hello. Okay.
Hello everybody. I am looking forward to this year and I can't wait to see you all.
Okay. All right. We've got our kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Hendrickson, also known as Mrs. H. So any new kindergarten parents out there, here we have Mrs. H.
Good evening, parents, and welcome to Gateway Christian School. I'm so excited for you kindergarten parents. Big thumbs up. Look forward to kindergarten college for 2020-2021. Woo!
All right, you got a lot of energy there. All right, and moving on, right up the grades, we have our first and second grade teacher, Mrs. Borges, and here she is.
Hi, everyone. I'm the new first and second grade teacher. I am new to the private schools, but I've been teaching for 9 years. This is going to be my 10th. Some of you may have seen me. I have a daughter here who's going to kindergarten now. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of the kiddos and teaching and just getting to know all of you.
Okay, I'm back. All right, and your third and fourth grade teacher is me. Okay, I'll be teaching third and fourth grade this year, but I won't be doing it alone. I have Miss Donna, who will be teaching our Bible and PE. So for those of you who don't know Miss Donna, here she is.
Hello everyone. Good to see your faces again. I look forward to seeing you again this school year, and I'll be working with 3 and 4, Bible and PE.
All right, moving right up, we have our fifth and sixth grade teacher. She is new to us this year as well, Mrs. Singh. And she's coming to us all the way from Delaware. She moved down here back to Florida. She has family here, but we're very glad to have her. So here she is.
Hello, everybody. I am really excited to be the 5th and 6th grade teacher and along tandem teaching the 7th and 8th grade classroom also for language arts. I can't wait to meet all of you, and I'm really excited.
Okay. All right. And last but not least, our 7th and 8th grade teacher. We all know Mrs. Geach. I don't know that we have any new student. Actually, we do. We have one new 7th grader. Her name is Piper. So Piper, if you're out there, here's your teacher.
Hola, I'm Mrs. Gage. I've been here forever, it seems. This is year number 13. I'm so excited to see you all. I can't wait to see you back in school.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this year, everything's different. Everything's changed, but we have not. We're still the same teachers as always. We're still excited to be here for you and with you and to partner with you. But as far as our open house, of course, protocols are changed because of COVID, obvious reasons. So we are recording this. We're going to be posting this on our website, as well as probably our Facebook page for the future, so that parents who could not attend live with us today will be able to access that. You'll also be emailed a form that verifies, yes, I watched the orientation, I understand, I'm going to sign here, and then you can either email that back to us or give it to us, send it with your child on the first day, because we really need for everybody to know. There's obviously some things are different. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and start with our PowerPoint. We're going to share our screen, but we'll be talking over that, so you'll be able to. And at the end, if you have any questions, along the way, you maybe write them down or something, and then we'll address all those questions at the end. Okay? All right, I'm going to let Mrs. H share the screen.
Hello, everybody. Let me get started here. Please let me know if you're able to see what came up right now. No? Yeah. How come I don't see it at the bottom?
I think,
I think it's here. Here it is. Here it is. I got it.
okay, it's there.
You can see it now? How about a minute? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, so I'm going to advance the slide and tell me if you can hear sound out in our gallery. Good afternoon, parents and guardians, and welcome to Gateway Christian Schools Orientation webinar for this year. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule for this presentation. Are you able to hear that sound?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Wow, awesome. Okay, praise the Lord.
Okay, I'm moving along.
I don't know why it's not easy. Thank you. All right. Before we get started, let me take a moment to give you the orientation overview. We'll discuss our school website, school hours, which have been updated, attendance, which has some changes as well, morning care updates, new morning routine, classroom safety, exposure control plan, dress code, which has been with new additions, standard of conduct, which includes online. I'm so sorry. And etiquette, our redemptive disciplinary process. School lunches has some new updates. Technology, classroom protocols and safety, report cards, field trips, aftercare, financial responsibility, parent involvement, extracurricular activities, and fundraisers. And then we'll take questions at the end.
If you have gone to our website recently, you will see that we have made some changes. It is still the same website at mygatewaycs.com, but it is more user-friendly, I hope, and I would encourage you to look at our website on a regular basis, as we will be putting updates and announcements right here for you. I also want to encourage you to check our Facebook page as well, and whatever is posted on our website will also be posted there. So please look at it, take a look, and put it on your to-do list. Thank you.
School hours. In the light of the pandemic, we have offered in-class and online education. For in-class students, school hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Friday from 8 a.m. to noon. That's a revision. Noon dismissal on Friday. And remember, several early releases are on Wednesdays for teacher study group, and we will dismiss the student body at 1:30 p.m. On early release days, our school office ends at 2 p.m. Now for our online students or our distant learners, school begins Monday through Thursday, 8:15 to 3 p.m. and Friday from 8:15 to 1 p.m. The last hour from noon to 1 is reserved for online students. Remember, again, the early release days and that the office will close at 2 p.m. Aftercare. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the GCS school board and staff have decided to suspend aftercare until further notice. Please note, for the safety of our staff, students who are not picked up at the appropriate time will face a fine and will have chosen to move to an online academic format moving forward. Attendance. Once again, we'll address the attendance for our in-class students and as well as our online students. Okay, so absences for in-class students. Excused absences are illnesses, and you must have a doctor's note, court-mandated appearance, and a death in the family. Tardiness. School begins promptly at 8 a.m. Students are expected to arrive on time. For our online students, absences are the same. Excused absence are for illness, and you must have a doctor's note, court mandated appearances, death in the family. Now for tardiness, online students should be logged in no later than 8:15 to begin the academic day. Attendance will be taken periodically throughout the day for our online students. Morning care. Morning care drop-off follows the new protocol of GCS morning routine. If needed for work, early student drop-off is available at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Please submit your requests to the school office. All other students have an early arrival time of 7:45 a.m. Our new morning routine, drop-off. During morning drop-off, please remain in your vehicle at all times. Parents accompanied by their students will follow the drop-off/pickup flow of traffic and remain in their cars until temperature checks have been given and the accountability wellness form is signed. Those not meeting the minimum temperature requirement and/or showing symptoms will need to return home per current CDC guidelines. For the safety of all, only essential staff will be allowed into the building. This includes teachers and all other school personnel. Sorry, no parents. Students who live with a family member who has been tested for COVID or tested positive for COVID will not be allowed to enter the building. Students will need to self-quarantine for at least 14 days and be able to answer affirmatively to 3 health questions. During that time, the student will move to distance learning. Late arrivals. Students arriving late must be accompanied by a parent to the front door, at which time a temperature check will be given and the accountability wellness form is signed. Prior to being allowed, those not meeting the minimum temperature requirement will need to return home.
Parents, we appreciate your assistance in this matter. We are not trying to turn people away. Please understand. We are simply trying to keep your children as well as our staff members healthy so that we can remain open in our brick and mortar fashion. Thank you so much.
And now, sit back and enjoy our GCS original production, Morning Drop-Off Skit. Pay attention, all sorts of parents are showing up today. Enjoy.
Okay, you checked out. So have you medicated your child this morning? Have they experienced any symptoms? All right, very good. All right, come on in, Axel. You can walk to the door and the teacher will meet you there. All right. Good morning. How are you guys? Doing all right? Let me check your temperature. You guys want to stay in the car? Ooh, that's a temperature of 101. All right, so she seems to be all right, but she has a temperature of 101. So we're going to ask you to stay home for 10 days. Okay, and please keep us informed if there's any other differences if you've gone to the doctor and got tested. All right. Sorry. Thank you.
temperature slightly elevated, we're not gonna be able to allow him in today. I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Happy.
Well, that's unfortunate. I can't do anything about it. In order to maintain everybody's safety, I'm gonna have to
completely
ask you to stay
understand.
home.
You're so
Take the
good,
child home.
Mrs. Correct.
All right. Well, thank you. I hope everything works out. You
Yes.
have to stay home for 10 days
Yes.
or till the temperature comes down.
I understand. Oh, and I didn't have that form either. Where do you get that?
Yes, you'll have to go to Google Forms. Go to the link, fill it out, and it'll come directly
Well, let
to
me try
us.
to get my mother. Thank you, bye.
Thank you. Okay.
Classroom protocols and safety. 2 parts. Class.
Okay. Can I be heard?
Can you hear? Any of you?
Okay. All right. Well, that was our fun little way of explaining what the morning drop-off could possibly look like. Again, it's going to be an interesting school year, so I just ask that you work with us, okay? And check your child before coming to school. If you know that they are experiencing symptoms or have a slight elevated fever, then just go ahead and call the office, let us know, and just keep them home.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And
Can I, this is
Go
Jill,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I kind of got interrupted with an important phone call. What is the temperature considered that you guys aren't going to allow them in school?
Very good question. The temperature is 100.4 or higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
So
okay.
yeah. So but anything like if it's 100.3, it's pretty close. So it's kind of a judgment call. But we could possibly, if they come in the building and their temperature is kind of in the yellow zone, like maybe not, you could get a call within the hour and say to come pick them up. So, that's something that you're going to have to think about.
Yeah, at 100.3, I wouldn't send my kid to school anyways. But my main question is that means that if they have 100.4 temperature, we do have to go get them tested, and then we have to wait until their test results come back, and they have to have
Okay.
2 negatives.
No, they don't have to do all that, but we probably need to go to the doctor. But you'll have to quarantine for about 2 weeks, about 10 days or 10 school days, which essentially is about 2 weeks. And then they have to not have a temperature, no medication. There's a checklist. There's like three questions. Yes, symptoms, temperature, and medicine.
So say that they do have 100.4, we decide to go ahead and go and get them tested for, the COVID, because I've already had my whole family tested. We're all negative. But if we went and got them tested and they come back, and that's the CDC guidelines as well, that as long as you have 2 negative tests, that you're allowed back to work, you're allowed back to school. So
Yes.
I think it's covered in the advancing slides. And
I think we're going to cover that in the advancing slides. But yeah, you can definitely obviously go get the test and have 2 negatives, and that'd be fine. That'd be perfect.
Okay.
But if you're not going to get the test, then it has to be a 2-week quarantine, and then there's a certain checklist. No fever. You have to be fever-free for at least 3 days. You can't be medicated.
Okay.
And then it was something else. I'm drawing a blank here. But anyway, there's a list there. Symptom-free, fever-free, and no medicine.
Okay, and this is all going to be on the website, correct? I'm sorry,
Yes.
I have a family member that's in the hospital sick, so I'm trying to take care of that at the same time right now. So I keep bouncing in and out, but I just wanted, because I know everything's going to be different, and I know that we're all going to have patience and try and work with everything, and everything's not normal right now.
Yeah.
And I'll personally do my best to try to have patience, but I just need to make sure that I know exactly what to expect and not have surprises, because we all do work, you know, but we also don't want to put children in jeopardy at the same time.
Yeah, our goal is to maintain the brick and mortar open. So we have to be very, very careful. So yes, but I do appreciate it. These are very strange times we're living in.
And we'll revisit,
Very strange.
we'll
Yeah.
revisit this in the slideshow, and at the end, we'll further discuss it, okay? Very good. Yes? Okay.
Sure.
Classroom protocols and safety. 2 parts. Classroom environment. Class sizes have been limited for the purpose of social distancing. Barriers will be placed between or on desks. Students will be required to wear masks when interacting with other students, teachers, staff, and when moving in the building, within the building. They may remove their mask when working independently in their isolated areas. Face shields may be worn in addition to, but not in place of, masks. Desks will be cleaned and disinfected throughout the day by students and teachers. All cleaning products have been approved by the EPA and are non-bleach in order to preserve student attire. Classes will be considered as units to mitigate contact. Lunch will be in the classroom. And here's an example of what the classrooms will look like. Classroom protocols and safety, slide 2, classroom environment. In addition to what was mentioned earlier, temperature checks will be conducted by classroom teacher throughout the day. If your child shows sign of illness, he or she will be placed in quarantine and you will be contacted immediately. You will have 1 hour from the time you are contacted to pick up your child, your sick child. Beyond that hour window, you will be charged a quarantine fee of $25 per hour to be paid before returning to school. To return to school, your child will need to be fever-free and symptom-free with no medication for at least 10 days and a doctor's note. During this time, your student will be considered an online learner. Exposure control plan. In the event of COVID symptoms, students who exhibit symptoms of COVID will be removed from the classroom and remain in a designated spot while waiting for a family member to promptly get them. Parents with children in that classroom will be notified of the situation. The classroom will be disinfected as outlined by the CDC. The student is to remain home until they are fever-free and symptom-free with no medication for at least 10 days and a doctor's note. In the event of a COVID diagnosis. In the event of a COVID diagnosis, the entire classroom will be self-quarantined for 2 weeks and online learning will commence. Please note, GCS is required to report all COVID-19 cases to the local health department. Please be prepared to switch to distance learning for all students in the event of an exposure per guidance from the Lake County Health Department. This slide contains helpful Florida Department numbers. Please take a moment and jot these down. Dress code. Dress code applies to both traditional school setting and online school setting. We will discuss what to wear, what not to wear, and shoes and outerwear. What to wear. Shirts. For school days, the burgundy polo shirt with the GCS logo is required. For field trips or other designated days, students can wear their burgundy GCS logo t-shirt. aka GCS Friday t-shirt. For PE, GCS PE shirts and black or burgundy athletic shorts are required for grades 3 through 8, and students come to school in PE attire on PE days, pants and shorts. Students can wear khaki/tan or navy blue school uniform pants. Uniform pants should not resemble jeans or have decorative items. Khaki, tan, or navy blue school uniform shorts may be worn. Shorts must be at least mid-thigh length. For girls, khaki or tan or navy blue school uniform skirts, capris, or skirts can be. Skirts and skirts must be at least knee length. Belts are not required, but recommended for grades 3 through 8. Casual Fridays. Friday, dress down day. Appropriately fitting denim jeans and the Friday t-shirt. Or students may choose to wear the regular school uniform as well. Students are required to wear a mask in the building. Thank you. What not to wear? No jewelry of any kind is permitted to be worn. No sandals or flip-flops due to safety reasons. Ladies should refrain from wearing heels unless given permission for special occasion. No portion of undergarments is to be shown. All shirts must cover the entire midriff. Hoodies may be worn, but hoods are down for both in-class and online students. Shoes and outerwear. Flat, closed-toed shoes are required to be worn at all times. Sneakers or tennis shoes are required for athletic activities. Jackets with zippers or cardigans may be worn during cooler weather. The colors should be solid navy, gray, or black. Hats and sunglasses should only be worn outdoors. Standard of conduct. Faculty, students, and parents of GCS always represent Jesus and our school. Respect for faculty and staff, classmates, and property is expected. So in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets, Matthew 7:12. To teach accountability, behavior guidelines will be consistently and lovingly implemented. Redemptive disciplinary process. Teachers will privately speak with the student about behavior. If the behavior is not corrected, parents will be notified to assist in the redemptive process. If necessary, administration will be included in this process. If necessary, admissions committee will be included in this process where the child and the parent may be present. If the attempts at corrective action prove to be unsuccessful, these actions will be interpreted as your wish to no longer follow the guidelines of GCS, and a recommendation to that effect will be given to the school board. Safe and healthy learning environment. Serious offenses. For the safety and well-being of the students, faculty, and staff, certain offenses fall outside of the realm of our disciplinary process and require immediate action. These include, but are not limited to, bullying, which includes cyberbullying, harassment, possession of weapons, drugs, tobacco, physical harm to self or others, vandalism, and any conduct that occurs in or out of school that negatively affects the student body and or learning environment at Gateway Christian School.
there anything you want to say?
School lunches. Students will eat in their classrooms. Please pack a healthy snack and lunch. Items high in sugar should be avoided. No caffeinated or carbonated beverages should be included. Due to COVID, food will no longer be shared, for example, for birthday parties. And online students will follow the classroom eating schedule. Where?
Oh, is there something there?
Technology devices. GCS issued devices. All students, both in class and online, will be issued their own laptop, iPad, and a $500 technology fee will be applied to the account along with a signed contract. These charges will be reversed at the end of the school year when the device is returned in good working condition. Please note, in-class students will not be allowed to take their devices home unless GCS moves to distance learning for the entire school due to illness or quarantine. Other electronics. Use of cell phones is not permitted on campus. Any electronics which could be a distraction in the classroom or aftercare are not allowed on campus. If any device is heard, seen, or used, the device will be taken away and a fee assessed. Parents may reclaim the device after the fee has been paid. Technology, apps, and online learning. GCS requires parents and students to participate and use several online learning apps as well as online digital platforms for assignments and as a form of communication. Some examples are Canvas, Clever, Reading Plus, Dreambox, Core 5, Microsoft Teams, or other grade-specific apps. Also, we encourage you parents to become familiar with RenWeb so you can stay current with your students' grades. Report cards. Printed copies of report cards are issued at the end of each quarter. Grades should be viewed on RenWeb weekly. Parent-teacher conferences are required at the end of first and third quarter. Other parent-teacher appointments should be made as needed. And below is listed the website link for RenWeb. Field trips. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the GCS school board and staff have decided to suspend field trips until further notice. Extracurricular activities. GCS is proud to host a robotics team, and Mr. Bartlett is gracious to be our leader. We also offer private music lessons through Mr. Rowley. These activities follow the same social distancing and PPE protocols. Robotics. GCS is proud to host the first Lego League for the year 2021. You are invited to join Gateway Christian School's robotics team for this coming school year. You will have fun learning and working with others. You will design and program a robot to perform specific tasks. You will work on this year's project, which is developing ways for people to move more. You will learn to work with rubrics to present what has been learned. Please see Mrs. Curette for an application. And remember, these activities follow the same social distancing and PPE protocols. Private music lessons. Mr. Rowley is available for private music lessons. Get a one-on-one music lesson online or at school. Do you want your child to learn how to play an instrument? Sign up now. Please call Mr. Rowley at 407-808-1862. Financial responsibility. Upon registration, you will receive an online questionnaire to be completed. This will activate your financial clearance process. All correspondence will be done with our school treasurer, Kendra Miller. Financial clearance must be completed before attending classes. All prior balances must be paid in full before final acceptance for the new school year. Accounts also must be kept current. Parent involvement. At GCS, we value our parents' involvement. Please be sure to attend and participate all parent-teacher meetings, fundraisers, and performances. We also greatly appreciate 10 volunteer hours throughout the school year. It means so much to us for outdoor maintenance and to beautify our campus. Fundraisers. As you can see listed here, we participate in Box Tops for Education. We host a move-a-thon where pledges are taken and money is collected for the outstanding physical laps done by our students at the North Lake Community Park on their bicycles. We also participate in discount cards. Questions from this segment from the gallery will be posted on our website as frequently asked questions.
Okay, I can escape.
All right, can you mute yours, Louise? And I'll just talk from mine. All right, can y'all hear me? Okay, lower the volume. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I've been kind of jotting some things down as we went through the slides, and just some things that I'd like to kind of emphasize. Uniforms. Obviously, if you're in the building, you wear your uniform as you always have. We would like to see even our online students in uniform as well. And you're probably thinking, oh, why? I'm home. Well, because we feel like if you're home, you tend to be a little comfortable. You know, if you got your pajama bottoms on, you know, you just kind of have that mentality. So if you have your uniform on, tops and bottoms, then you tend to take a little bit more seriously. So parents, I would encourage you to get them off as if they're going to school. Okay, you have your breakfast, you brush your teeth, you get your uniform on, and you are sitting in front of, like if you were going to be dropped off here, you wouldn't be dropped off in pajama bottoms, would you? Unless it's pajama day, but that doesn't happen every day. So you're going to be in uniform. So even if you're online, uniforms, okay? Because I will be seeing you just like you're seeing me live. See, I've got my uniform on, okay? So I can see you, and I'll be able to see that you have your uniform on, okay? Okay, so that's uniforms as devices. That's a big one because obviously everything's going to be online. If you are an online student, we will give you a device. I know last spring, some families had their own devices and they chose to use their own devices, which was fine. But we found that if you are using our device, it's just a much smoother process because all the apps are preloaded, everything's there, we know how to work with those, you know, and all the computers are the same age, whereas some computers were a little older model, they didn't support certain apps and things like that. So we ran into all that. So if you're gonna be an online student, you're gonna use ours, okay? So we will issue that for you. You will not be charged the $500 until the end of the year. in the event that you don't bring the device back, then you will have a $500 charge. Okay, so you'll go ahead and sign off. We're actually going to be issuing devices this Wednesday from 4 to 7. So if you want to call ahead, if that doesn't work, if 2 o'clock works better for you, just call ahead and let us know. We'll have your device ready to go. I know some parents are already in the area. They don't want to have to come back. Trust me, we will be here all day. So even if you are a brick and mortar student, I would like for everybody to come in on Wednesday and sign that lease or that contract. Because even if you're a brick and mortar student, there is a possibility that, let's say your child gets sick, has to quarantine, then they have to take devices home. We don't want to have to sign contracts at that time. We want you getting well. That's the last thing we want to worry about. So if everybody could sign for their iPads or laptops on Wednesday. So what I'm asking is that everybody at some point Wednesday needs to come in, sign that contract. If you're a brick and mortar student, then you sign the contract and it stays here, okay? Because you will not be taking your laptop home if you're a brick and mortar student. The laptop stays here. The only way a brick and mortar student will take their laptop home is if they get sick or need to quarantine, then you just take it home, okay? So if you can put that on your calendar, we'll send something out again this week. Between 4 and 7, we will be issuing laptops, okay? Okay, school hours. If you notice, Friday, we used to get out at 1 o'clock. We are now getting out at noon every Friday. And that is for the purpose of touching base with our online students. Right now, we have almost a 50-50 split with students who will be brick and mortar versus online. And so in order to really connect with those online students, we have designated that hour on Friday to be able to make phone calls, face-to-face meetings like this, some tutoring, whatever the needs are. And that doesn't mean that we're going to connect with you every single Friday, but we know that that Friday has been designated your time. Okay, so if you need us in a special way, we're going to be here. We're going to be reaching out to you as well. Okay, let me see. Oh, the other thing about the school hours, our online students, okay, I know school's from 8 to 3, but we're not expecting your child to be glued to the laptop for those hours straight, okay? So if your child can be online by 8:15, because if you remember what our morning routine looks like, we're all out there. We have our morning, number 1, you are loved. Number 2, your child. We do all that, and then by the time we move into the classrooms and we put our books away, we sharpen our pencils, and we sit down. It's usually about 8:15. Okay, so if your child by 8 o'clock, they need to start thinking, oh, I need to wrap up whatever, finish my breakfast, and then boom, 8:15. We'll turn the cameras on. You might see the kids putting their backpacks away, but that's okay. You're there. You're kind of hovering and waiting for us, okay? We'll have worship with you because we don't want you to miss worship. Worship is key. We don't want our online students to miss out on worship. That's the whole purpose of a Christian school, okay? And then throughout the day, if you can imagine what a school day looks like, we're going to be working with the kids in small groups. So let's say if I have my reading group, but your child is not in that reading group, then your child can kind of, they can go on their Lexia or Core 5, Reading Plus, their Dream Box, but they're kind of listening in because at any moment I might call your reading group, just like it was the classroom. I say, okay, time for reading group number 2, and you're in the second reading group. Okay, now I'm going to pause Lexia, and now I'm here. So you can kind of be over here to the side and do your thing, whatever, but you're still connected. So if I call your name, you'll be like, yep, here I am. Okay, so you might be over here doing something, and I might say, hey, where are you? I'm like, here I am. Okay, I don't want to be texting your parents and saying, hey, I don't see so-and-so. Did they log off? I need them. So you're here with us Okay, you're at home and you got a little bit of flexibility, but you need to be right there if I call you, etc. Okay, does that make sense? Like, see a thumbs up? Okay, all right. And then of course, if we go to recess, you can, you can walk away. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be stuck to the computer. You have a break at recess, but know that we come back in 20 minutes. So you got a 20-minute break, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, whatever, and then have your laptop on, because I might say, okay, we're back. Boom, there you are again, okay? You have lunch, same thing. PE, we may give you something to do for PE. We might be playing basketball. So we'll work with you on that. There'll be an assignment for PE that you can do. Again, you don't need to be stuck to the computer from 8 to 3. So there are all those moments, but you need to be with us, if that makes any sense. Okay. Okay, robotics. Yeah, in the PowerPoint, Mrs. H mentioned that, we're trying to keep the classes as, I guess, self-contained, but then, because grades 5 through 8, they switch classes, so we're going to consider grades 5 to 8 one group, okay? But see, 5 to 8 is not going to intermingle with grades 1 to 4. So 5 to 8 is one unit. Pre-K and K, same thing, because we have the wraparound program and some of the kids stay all day. So those pre-K students are going to join with the kindergarten for part of the day. So that's considered one unit. First and second grade is one unit. Third and fourth grade is one unit. So our brick and mortar students, if we go out to recess and like, let's say my third and fourth grade class goes out to recess and they see the first and second graders, they're not going to play, unfortunately, with the first and second graders, because we're trying to keep the grades as separate as we can to avoid any cross, whatever, like, because if somebody in first and second grade ends up having to quarantine, and now you've played with third and fourth grade, then it's possible that all of grades 1 through 4 will need to quarantine. So we're trying to avoid that as much as possible. The robotics, because robotics is already for grades 5 to 8, that's why we're doing that this year. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have done robotics either. It's just a crazy year, parents, I know. And I can't wait for this to get back to normal. But unfortunately, because we want to keep the school open and not have any outbreaks, we're trying to be as tight with all of this as we possibly can. Okay, masks. If you saw me on camera, I had my mask on. So if you're a brick and mortar student, you will be wearing a mask throughout the day. I know it's not fun wearing the mask. Trust me, I get it. But if you are face to face and mingling with another, interacting with another student or a teacher, the mask needs to stay on. If you need a break and you just like, oh, I can't breathe, I need this thing off my face, then you can go behind your shields. We have little dividers where the students can be on their own. And by all means, take the mask down, breathe. Oh, okay. But the minute you're face to face with another person, the mask needs to come on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you see Mrs. H's screen, but we made these they're those trifold poster boards, and we cut something out so that you can see through. We're working on getting something a little bit more sophisticated, but on our tight budget, that's gonna have to work for now. In the first and second grade classroom, she's actually got those PVC pipes with the dividers, and it's a lot more, in my third and fourth grade class, I have 3 brick and mortar students, so I think I can socially distance a little easier. Mrs. Borges has a few more than that. But we are limiting our brick and mortar class sizes for that very reason. Okay, one more thing. Honestly, because of our low numbers this year, we have had to let go of our music teacher for the time being. So we do not have Mr. Rowley with us this year. However, he is willing to do piano lessons. He plays every single instrument, parents. He taught my son clarinet, my daughter, he taught her the flute. So if you have any interest in any, instrument, let us know. We can pass that on to him. He will do virtual lessons, private lessons that way. Okay, so those are all the notes that I had. I'm going to open this up for some question and answer period. So if you have a question, just unmute your mic, ask your question, and then if you can mute it again so that we don't have feedback. But I'm all yours. Ask away.
Mrs. Corrett?
Okay, I see Mrs. James. You might want to unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I don't hear you.
No?
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
I'm sorry. I just had a question on the masks. Do you have a specific type of mask that is supposed, or do you guys issue them, or can we just use like the cloth ones we've been using?
Yeah, good question. Okay, now you have to mute yours. Now, we had Waterman Village right behind us. They donated 100 cloth masks. Louis, can you grab the one that's on my desk as a white mask? They gave us 100 white masks. So if a student comes to school and forgets their mask, we can give them one of these. If it's not there, don't worry about it. Okay, anyway, yeah. Otherwise, they can bring whatever mask. This is a mask that my brother's girlfriend made this. It's a cloth mask. It's very comfortable. I can, I feel like I'm not suffocating with this one, but it's got to be, at least a couple layers. We also have the disposable masks. I don't know if you saw Mrs. H, the typical disposable. We have those here as well. We can give the students. So whatever your child is comfortable wearing, we'll be okay with that. All right. Okay, yeah, one of the teachers mentioned, just as long as, it's, sometimes you get masks that have like these crazy silly messages on it, really goofy, or, just as long as it's appropriate. Yeah, these are the masks that were donated to us. They're just white, and, we have several of these. Like I said, we have about 30 kids brick and mortar this year, and I have 100 of these. So, and we'll take them. If the child messes them up, we'll put them in, and we will wash them and bleach them and return them on Monday. Or you can just send a mask that you're comfortable with. Okay. Let me ask, I'm just going to open it up to my teachers to see if there's anything I missed or they would like to share. Okay, Mrs. James?
I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
Okay, go ahead.
Can we bring the, how do we bring off or drop off our school supplies? Like we have for both the kids, we have quite a few school supplies. Can we bring those on Wednesday? Yes. Okay.
As far as the school supplies, I know the school supplies, they're not going to intermingle. So for example, if I put, pencils on my list, those are pencils for your child. We're not going to take all the pencils and put them in a big bin so the kids can grab. Like we used to do that. Yeah, they're not community property anymore. So whatever pencils you buy, those are your child's pencils. Unless it's something like, Lysol wipes, we'll take those. But otherwise, everything is your own. And they should probably, you might want to label your child's things as well. Yeah. So, okay, anything else? Am I missing anything? Does anyone else have questions? Okay, well, guys, parents, I do appreciate your trust in us. And believe me, we are taking this very, very seriously. We want your children safe. we also want to remain safe and healthy. So if we're going to err, I'd rather err on the side of caution. It might seem like a little over the top, like, wow, Mrs. Curette's going over the top with this stuff. Well, I'd rather err on that side and keep your kids safe. So, all right. Let me see. I think wellness form. Okay. Yes, she's writing something on the board. Ooh, I need my Mac is about to die. Somebody can grab my cord and plug me in. Okay. All right. Something we discussed after we did this, we discussed in the morning having like a wellness form where you
This is mine.
okay. Yep, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so there'll be like a form that will be on the website, right? Is that where we're going to put it? Okay, we're going to email it to parents, but it'll also be on the website. Sometime this week, we're going to post that so that you can look at that and download it. And we're trying to make it a Google form so we don't have so much paper every day. So you just fill it out in the morning before you drop your child off, maybe before you leave the house, just, maybe 3 little questions or something. Is your child showing any symptoms? Yes, no. Is your child running a fever? Yes, no. Have you medicated your child? Yes or no? That's an important one. Okay. It's very tempting. It's like, oh, your temperature's not that bad. Let me give you a little Tylenol, bring it down. Yeah, that we don't want to encourage that at all, because after a couple hours, the temperature comes back. And, if that ends up happening and we find out that, you've medicated your child to pass the initial temperature check in the morning, you could run the risk of becoming an online student at that point, because, we just need you to be able to follow that. So I don't foresee that happening though, at all. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? I see Landon. I haven't seen you in so long, Landon. All right. So you're going online, right, Landon? Are you doing online? Okay. Well, you'll be in Mrs. Singh's class. Oh, man. I kind of was hoping you'd be here, because Mrs. Singh needs to know Landon. The real Landon. We miss you guys. We miss you guys so much. All right. Okay. Well, if there's anyone who would like to meet the teacher, we will be here all week. So if you would like to maybe just call the school and say, hey, can Mrs. Curette give me a call? Or we can set up a meeting like this and we can talk face to face. Or one of our new teachers is probably who you'd want to talk to more, because you haven't met them really. We've got a great team this year. I really think God has sent these 2 ladies to us. And I think we're going to have an amazing year. In spite of COVID, we're going to be okay, because God's got our backs, right? Amen. Okay. All right. Shall we close with prayer? Mrs. H, would you mind? All right. I'm going to shut my computer, my mic off, and let her turn hers on.
Again, so good to see all of you. Let's bow our heads and go before our Father God. Kind and loving Father, you are great and do marvelous deeds. You alone are God. I thank you for this informative time, Father God. I thank you that you've put in our hearts how to prepare our brick and mortar to safely and successfully host school. And Father God, I'm happy for our online learners as well. May you continue to bless us with wisdom and grace and multiply the works of our hands, and may we have a fantastic year. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Thanks for attending. We love you guys. Looking forward to seeing you either in person or online. Bye. See ya. All right, take care. God bless.
Great.
Well, it was different.